Hello and welcome to Informed Entrepreneur Magazine. My name is Mike Baumstark. I'm a small business owner myself, and today I'm interviewing Kathy Strauss of Imagewerks. Welcome, Kathy.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Now, the backdrop you see behind us is an example of Kathy's work. We'll show you a few other pieces at the end of the video, but we're going to learn what we can about the creative and business side of being a professional artistic photographer, I believe is the way you put it, right? What is your motto?
My tagline is actually making visual happen, but I go by as a visual storyteller.
Visual storyteller, yes. And some of the pieces we were looking at before we started the interview, there's definitely a story that comes out from some of the pictures, and I'd like to show you a few of those and let you guess as you watch it what the story is behind that. And Kathy's email will be in the video credits too, so you can say, gee, Kathy, I'd like to buy one of those at the end. So, Kathy, let's start out with how did you wind up in the Northern Virginia area, and then we'll go into some more details.
Okay. I came down in 1976, went to University of Maryland, graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Advertising.
Excellent. Oh, advertising.
Yep.
Now, was photography something you had been doing at that point, or is it something you kind of say, wow, I like this now?
Actually, had always been interested in photography. Grew up with it around me constantly because my dad put a darkroom in the basement of the house.
Yeah.
So he was a photographer when he was at UCLA.
Ah, okay. So you started interacting with that dark room and got fascinated and started birthing something, correct?
I actually sort of did. I used the combination of the photography and the design, and actually wanted to be a teacher, an art teacher.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happened next?
Went from going into education for art and education also in music, and decided that at that point salaries were being cut, teachers were being cut, art wasn't being valued in the educational system, and I decided that being a graphic designer was going to be a little bit more lucrative.
Yeah. Well, you have to make money as well as do what you love, I suppose.
Exactly.
So at what point did you begin the business of Imagewerks?
Imagewerks was actually started in 1999. When I got out of college, I worked either for federal government, international development, spent 20 years of my life with the World Bank and loved every minute of it.
Really?
And then also when I retired from the bank, I actually went to work for USAID government contract and spent 10 years there. And it was in 1999 that my husband and I both started Imagewerks, and with the goal of my being able to just really do the business myself, and then he was also going to help. Turns out that he spent more of the time in the business than I did. In 2007, the last recession, I found myself pouring myself more and more into the business, and in 2007, I jumped into it full time.
Now, it takes a certain personality to do entrepreneurial things, right?
Yep.
Personality trait that I've noticed almost without fail in all my interviews and my interactions with business owners has been a little bit of a craziness that's inside you. Now, tell me about the craziness inside you, and was that part of the spark that caused this to happen?
Actually, I would say, again, my dad was the inspiration. My dad owned a engineering firm up in Connecticut, a very successful one, and I had wanted to work for somebody else, but always said, well, I'll just freelance. And when it decided that it was like, all right, it's time for me to just go out on my own, and I wanted my own business. I wanted to have an advertising agency. I was going to be the next big thing. And the craziness was really me being crazy enough to go into business for myself.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's an unknown quantity, but it's a little bit of insanity that makes you launch out and do this. And you need it, because if you were a completely realistic person, you'd stay at the job, and actually most people do.
Right.
Right. Okay. So tell me about one or two difficulties you've encountered in being your own boss and being in business. With some difficulties?
Number one difficulty is cash flow.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Consistent cash flow.
Consistent cash flow. It is making sure that there are enough projects that are walking in the door to be able to bring in the money to be able to keep a roof over our head, to keep the business going.
Yes.
Other difficulty is the competition from the youngsters. My husband and I are, I'll be honest, we're no spring chickens. And we have 30, 40 years in the creative industry. And what we have found is that we have the background, which is the institutional knowledge, the solid design, illustration, photography background, that these young kids don't. They think that they can, everybody has a computer now. Everybody thinks that they can do everything and will not charge for it. So the basic difficulty, when it comes to that, is we are undercut by age, we're undercut by the globalization, all of that type of stuff. And we're going to have a train that's going to be coming by pretty soon.
Yes, there's a train track right behind us, which
it's actually the Virginia Railway Express.
Kind of interesting, actually. So you all can't see that, but we can, and you may hear that train noise. All right, so a couple difficulties. What about rewarding or successful aspects that you've experienced?
The most rewarding is the fact that I actually get out to meet people. We have gotten very involved in the Prince William County community, actually, and beyond. And we've decided that we need to be able to give back to the community. Hence, involved in Rotary, involved in the Chamber, involved in several nonprofits and sitting on board of directors. What that has done is that it has given us a chance, one, to meet people, two, to give back, and three, we actually have won numerous business awards, either as business for Imagewerks, Business of the Year several times for the Chamber, as well as business awards for individual pieces, whether it's for photography, whether it's for different designs that we have done over the years.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So, in summary, what would you say to other people that might be looking at something they really enjoy and thinking about, can I do this and make a living for myself? What would the advice be you would give to people like that out there?
Advice: make sure that you, one, love what you're doing. And if you love what you're doing, you'll never work another day in your life. But if you are going to go into the creative industry, know your computers, know your software, know your audience, know who your target audience is going to be. And understand that it's not going to be all fun and roses the whole time. You're going to have struggles along the way. But the most rewarding is that I know that whatever we do, whatever I do, actually touches a person. Touches them here, and it makes a difference.
Fantastic. Kathy, it's been a pleasure interviewing you.
Thank
you. It's been one of my more interesting interviews.
Thank you.
Frankly, I've learned a lot from Kathy in the time I've been here. Now, toward the end of the video, we'll be showing you a few of the works that we saw today, and we'll do some close-up shots so you can get sort of a view of some of the things Kathy does. And also, her husband has some artwork here, which will salt in a couple of pieces of artwork that are mixed media, digital and other forms of media in these pictures, and we'll see if you can figure out which is which. Thank you for joining us today on Informed Entrepreneur Magazine. I'm Mike Baumstart, and look at other videos from other types of businesses, but please enjoy today's video. Thank you.